husband, who is the pastor and founder of High Praise Ministry, and to Minister Jesse. You don't even understand you are in my message today. I was posting on Facebook recently. I actually shared a post from the past where I was asking God and petitioning the people that my husband had desired a musician to come in. And ironically, and God divinely appointedly, Minister Jesse happened to call my husband out of the blue this week after I shared that post. And I was like, well, God, I guess you still hear me. And when I was doing my studies this week, I was dealing with 2 Corinthians chapter 9, and I'm coming from the Easy to Read version. And it's about your giving is a blessing. As we're approaching into Thanksgiving this coming Thursday, and putting aside all the wonderful turkey and dinner and whose house we're going to get played at, and all of the things that come with that, I was doing some studying on the service of Thanksgiving. When we talk about the ministry of service in church, we don't really define what that means. And Paul broke it down in this chapter in 2 Corinthians chapter 9 about how our giving is a service unto God. This giving that we do, this thanksgiving that we do, blesses and honors God. So in the first verse, Paul is basically bragging. He's writing to the people of Achaia in Corinth about how he has been dealing with the people in Macedonia, and he's been basically just bragging to them about how great the people are there, how excited they are to be a blessing to their brothers, the fellow believers in Achaia, and they've been looking forward to giving and blessing them abundantly, and they've been preparing for that over the course of the year. And he was sending forward a message so that they would know that he has been talking about them, been bragging about them, and how awesome they are, how willing they are to give. And he wants to make sure that they are doing just that. Not that they need to be controlled or forced into doing it, but the fact that they've been taught this, and that they are actually putting it into practical application. And there are just a couple of things that I think about when we think about Thanksgiving and our service of giving to others that I just wanted to point out. Please, in your own time, do read 2 Corinthians chapter 9. But there are a few things that are practical things that we can do, not only just come Thursday, but every day in our life. He's asking them to give not just because they're in need, but because this blesses God. See, when we give, it's not just so that we can be great, or they can say that Sister Falonda or Pastor Jesse, that they were so awesome and they blessed me. It's so that they know that God is hearing them and he's still in the blessing business, that he gets the glory for it. So there are a couple of things that we need to do. First and foremost, we need to be intentional. The people in Macedonia the people in Achaia they had prepared, they were intentional in their giving. They had been preparing for the full year, and that's the first thing we need to do. We need to be intentional and prepared to give, not just in our money, because at that time that's what they needed was money, but also in our time and in our efforts. We need to be prepared to give. I have a friend of mine who is actually a non-believer. He is an atheist, and every year he prepares, he posts on Facebook that he's going to the homeless shelter and he's getting together a group of friends, and anybody that wants to join him and go feed people on Thanksgiving. He makes one request, a call out, and that's it. You never hear what they did. You never hear that he was so great. This is something that he is called to do. So even as he, as a non-believer, God is still getting the glory out of what he's doing. Because at the end of the day, the people at the shelter don't know that that's him. And I won't call him by his name. But they don't know that that's him that's giving it. All they see is that God has blessed me enough to have a meal on this day, someplace warm to be, particularly in Chicago. Because on today, they already have had almost a foot of snow. So they have someplace warm they can go and get a hot meal, even if it's just for that one day. And they can give glory to God for that. And out of that, even in that act of giving, his intentional commitment to do this at least once a year, God is getting the glory. And he wants us to do this with joy in our hearts. They always say God loves a cheerful giver. Your cheerfulness will actually inspire other people to give and to be a blessing. After the people in Macedonia had heard that the people in Achaia were getting ready to give and preparing to give, it even encouraged some of them in their need. It gave them a desire to give. So your giving will be contagious. And this also blesses God, because that's even more people who give God the glory. In Psalms it says, he gives generously to the poor. He gives generously to the poor, and his goodness will continue to continue forever. In Psalms 112:9. This is your investment into the kingdom. So your giving not only blesses those who are in need, not only does God give the glory, but this ensures that you continue to give. He gives it to you not so you can hold on to it, but so that you can be a blessing to someone else. And as I close, I just want us to take the time. If not, you can't do it this Thursday. It's still Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And all these coming months that are going to be cold. If there's someone in need, be intentional about it. If it's no more than doing the little toiletry bags, you have the little hotel toiletries at home, you throw them in a Ziploc bag, and you give them to someone homeless on the street. Or maybe within our own body of believers, maybe you have a member who doesn't have a family that comes to church on Sunday and doesn't have someone to share a meal with. Maybe you invite them into your home. Let's just begin to be intentional in our giving. This giving that we do is a service unto God. So let us be intentional, let us give him glory, and let's increase his kingdom by doing this. Amen?